Good morning. You guys are like waking up school-age children. Not you guys, everybody else who's not online at 8:30, because now we got to wait for them all. But I'm excited. You know what we're going to do today? We're going to become event planners. What event do we have coming up? Am I muted? No.
No, you're not. You're good. You're not muted.
There's just no communication back.
Let me get some crickets.
Hey, that email Jeff sent out on Friday, those tickets to that show called Hits. What a show that was. Was it? Did you? Hi, Anna. I got to meet you.
It was really cool.
It was very cool.
10 to 20-year-old kids that made up that entire show. And
I was thinking, what do they do? They're going on the road. They're going to Nashville this week and they're going to Oklahoma. And are they get a school teacher that follows them around, or what do they do? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a lot of them are in some of the local private school here, like Berkeley, and they get excused, and some are homeschooled. I asked Bob that.
Wow.
Quite a commitment, though, I'll tell you.
Oh, well, if we practice our scripts like they practice their dance moves and their song lyrics, we'd be on tour too.
Right.
Okay, you guys help me log in now. That's good. Well, happy beginning of Q2. We survived Q1.
Well, I think a huge kudos needs to go out to all of you.
Yep.
That stuck in from, guys, we did 14 weeks of accountability, which is not the most fun thing to do, but you guys did it and you stuck through it, and you had good times and tough times and hard times and doubt, fear, anxieties. Some you didn't do, some you did do, some you had success. But I would like to, if we can, Craig, before we get into the next topic, I'd like to see some key takeaways that happened during that course of that quarter. And what did you learn about yourself, or what did you learn about the business?
Yeah, I'd like to hear that too, because I got a couple of wishes that I hope you guys come up with, because I've got some. Oh, you're going to be silent again? Come on.
Come on, let's hear about it.
I'll go.
Okay.
I think probably along with everybody else is that we can say with confidence, maybe in a little bit of arrogance because we're creating our own market, that we're, when people are asking us about how the market is, it's like, great. It is, because it is great for us. We're working it and telling people that, being honest and upfront and letting them know, it's competitive and complex and competitive, and every little micro, there's, niche markets within the big market. And, I'm with confidence telling them not to pay attention to the media, and, also using, of course, the Dennis Phillips, don't panic until I panic. And and they see us posting, they see me posting all the time, and it's like, well, it does look like you're busy. I said, I am. I'm people are still wanting to buy houses. It doesn't stop because the media says so. So just, polishing up our confidence, like I said, with a dash of arrogance, because we are all that in a bag of chips.
Don't say arrogance. There's nothing wrong with the confidence. It's not arrogance when it's true.
Exactly.
Lauren, how many transactions do you think you did in Q1, roughly?
I think I did 4. A few of them canceled because they weren't. A couple of them were prematurely approved for a VA loan when they shouldn't have been. COEs weren't verified, so those had to cancel, but I'm still working on finding them another home with the FHA loan, and one of them with DPA.
Awesome.
But
right.
this month is going to be a doozy. I have 6 closings scheduled.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you that. I was asking about new business. Old business we did 60 days ago. So if you
Right.
look at six closings come on, you did over 6 sales in quarter one. 6, 12, 18, 24 transactions for the year. And the market's supposed to be down 30%. You're not going to be down 30%. If you got 24 deals, if you got 6 deals open in quarter one. Right, guys, so we're talking about open business. Open business is what you created in quarter one. That's new business. What you close is generally was done last year. Right, so that's in the past. That's going to close. It's not going to close. And it is what it is. So incredible. To do 6 deals in a quarter is a lot. Right, what's the average age you're going to do this year? Sub 4 in the entire 12 year. Yeah. Very cool. I'm still waiting for somebody to say one particular thing, but somebody else say something that you took away from this, a belief system.
I think we maybe learned to believe it ourselves more.
Say it one more time.
Maybe we learned that we need to believe in ourselves a little more than we did.
Yeah, I like that. That's close. Chris knows what I'm going to say, so he can't speak up. What do we create?
Our own economy.
Our own economy, right? And I think the big takeaway for me is that you guys realize that if you want more business, you've got to do what?
Ask for it.
Talk to more people. Right? Very cool. Boy, people are still coming in. 8:37. In this particular room, we have to add it. We have to give them admission to come in. So it takes a little while. And here's my on-time daughter.
You know, hey, Carl, you know, it'd be fun, without going into the depths of it, you guys tell us the source of deals that you've had over this course of quarter.
There you
Just kind
go.
of just unmute and tell us. I want you guys to see the variety of ways that your why can manifest. And I put it that way on purpose because, you know, we joke around our little Thai temple of Fukao, right, to be politically correct today. But the issue is, it doesn't. Your business is going to come when you want your business to come. When it's an activity-based market, when you just have that belief system, the more people I talk to, the more money I'll make. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter who you talk with. It just matters that you're talking with them. So unmute and talk about the deals that you've had, with the sources of them. We don't want the whole backstory. I just want to hear whether there's Sphere, FISBOs, expireds. You know, where did you meet the client?
Mom, you start off because I know what you did.
Okay, most of my deals in this quarter came from previous customers, past customers.
No, but how did you get in touch with those past customers?
That was started in, I think it was, when did we start this? December? When we
Pre-Christmas.
were around Christmas time, when we were reaching out and just touching base with all of our people that we used to know and do business with, and it was very exciting. So that's what happened to me. So February and March were good months for me because of the previous work.
Right. So I'm gonna say this another way, the way I want you to say it. You
Okay,
took advantage of the mastermind and you started
Yes.
texting past clients,
yes,
right? And that got a reach out from a friend, a past client.
right.
And they had another baby and they want to sell their house. So it's because I have to move.
That
So
was
you went out,
correct.
you previewed their house. You did a lot of effort on previewing that house because it was a pigsty. You counseled them hard. You got it on the market. You got multiple offers. It sold. You had to hustle. You had to write 3 or 4 offers on another house for them. And you
Right,
got them and you closed them last week. So
Right.
efforts pre-Christmas resulted in $1 million worth of closings in
Correct.
quarter one, right?
right.
And that started with you texting your past clients. And I know you didn't like kill yourself doing that.
No, thank goodness I didn't have to. But however, I also got more activity. I started doing the RSPs in the farm, which is bringing up a lot of people knowing about what's going on in the actual neighborhood. I also did a lot of
mailing on Thursday this week. It's on my kitchen counter and my neighbors have told me they've seen your mailing coming out.
Okay, oh, great, that's good news. And also, I did a lot of work in the neighborhood news area too.
So it
So,
spurs you on to
and I
do.
wouldn't have done that. I would not have done that if it hadn't been for the mastermind group.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. I got
Okay.
it. Thank God for family. Jessica, you're next. How was your first quarter?
It was good. I closed a deal earlier this year that originally stemmed from Easter seals, so networking. I need to look. Oh, I gotta look at my drive. Hold on.
You've got so many.
A past client. I originally got them through Navy Federal, so it was originally like a
It was a Carter's referral. You paid a hefty referral fee on, but now you got another transaction from which you paid no referral fee on.
yes. Well, they contacted Navy Federal before they contacted me, so I still have to pay. I had a sphere of influence, a past client, and two more sphere of influences. So I would say one of them came from Instagram, and the past clients I've really kept in touch through social media and like just all the little stuff that I'll do throughout the years. But the one past client that I closed in January, we keep in touch on Facebook. And then there's the sister of somebody that I went to high school with that she messaged me on Instagram. So I'd say two were, sphere, and then one stemmed from Easter seals.
That's 5 closings for the quarter.
1, 2, 3. Yes.
And new business? Is that on the same spreadsheet?
New business. I have a listing hitting the market today in South Tampa. It's in my farm. I would also consider them sphere because I've gone to baby showers and birthday parties with them. They're right down the street. And then sphere, just I've got some family deals and a past client.
Nice. Cool. All right. I picked on my family. Now I got to pick on somebody else. So
Lauren's typing in quite a few
that's right.
sources.
Say it again.
Okay,
Okay, Dale.
well, one was directly from me doing what you said, and I did sit down and text a bunch of people at the beginning of this. And it was a realtor that I've known in another city. And he sent me a referral and they bought one of those Y Mama, good old Y Mama, those villas in South Shore.
Yep.
Lennar and Diener keeps teasing me because Lennar did pay me 4%.
Nice.
And then one was a Navy Fed that closed, which was good. And then let's see, 2 were passed like a referral base. So I had 4 for the quarter. Okay.
Those
One
are
just
closings or
closed.
new business.
Those were closings. And then we have 2 that are going in the books today or tomorrow that are D.R. Horton, 2 brand new Villa D.R. Hortons in Plant City that are side by side. They're best friends buying properties next door to each other.
Nice.
So the first one you get paid the 3%, the other one, because it's another deal, you get an extra percentage. So that's kind of cool.
Yep.
And then another listing sold. That's going to close soon.
Nice.
So part of it, to go back to, I guess, what you said, even which was good, you even goosed me again yesterday. It's always good to get, it's good to get goosed. I remember what you said. Are you going to have an excuse? You're going to be here this morning.
I said, you're going to show up, you're going to send, because Dale respectfully sends me an email and says, hey guys, I'm not going to make it this morning. And I get that half of the time. But you're up, shiny, your teeth are brushed, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yep. So, but it does tell you that you need to, the old monkey, the monkey is floating around, Jeff, but you got to get rid of the monkey.
Well, the monkey is floating around because we had like 70 people on the Friday and we're up to 38 so far right now. So the monkey's got 32 people.
And on a sidebar, I mean, that performance was unbelievable yesterday.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, you have to say that, like what you said a minute ago, I'm shocked how those young people could be that energetic and, do what they did at their age, really.
The one that sang that Whitney Houston song brought tears to my eyes. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like a 2-hour Super Bowl halftime show is what is
was.
how I really liked that yesterday.
And much
Cool.
better than the Super Bowl show.
That's right. That's right. No, but look at all the different sources, right? What I'm excited about is that you guys clearly see Sphere, past client, social connection works. What I also hope you're excited about is seeing how much is still on the table, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear a lot of FISBOs. I didn't hear a lot of expired listing conversions. I didn't hear a lot of absentee conversions, right? I heard a lot of Sphere and past clients, right? Which is great, right? But how many of you wish you had more business pending than you do right now? That's just internal question for yourself. And then how many of you want to sit at the end of Q2 in a better position than you are in Q1? It's gonna take doing things differently. This market is interesting. I got off the phone this morning with a friend of mine called me, sent me a text early this morning. You up? I'm like, yeah, the kids them up. Right? And a friend of his wants to buy Diane's listing. Diane Taylor's got $3 million listing in Madeira Beach. And this guy owns a lot of property in town, and he's friends with a friend of mine. He called and said, hey, I met Diane. I like this house. And Diane says, talk to you. The reason I bring it up is interesting. So it's a $3 million house. And the guy's like, I heard the market's pretty soft, so I want to do seller financing. Of course, this is hypothetical at this stage of the story. $100,000 down, 2% interest in a 10-year note. I know the market's soft. Right. And so interesting on a few different notes, right? Number one, in his world, the market's soft. In my world, it's not. So it was all I could do to say, dumbass, there's no way. Right.
Yeah.
But what would that have done?
Ended the call.
Ended the call quickly, which is probably going to end anyway. Maybe not. But then inside my mind, when there's a buyer who wants to buy and a seller who wants to sell, there's always a deal to happen. So,
And the $3 million house, honestly, was a $2 million house 2 years ago.
Yeah, but it's still a $3 million house now, and he likes it. Right. So now our job starts, guys. Right. This is why we get paid. Is you get a buyer who wants to buy, a seller who wants to sell, and then you put the deal together. It's a tennis match at this point. Boom, 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 boom. My offer, counter offer, counter. I don't care what the offer is. We'll start the deal. And I manage expectations that says there's no way in hell that that's going to happen. However, let's start the game. As long as you really want the house, let's go figure out how we get it. Let's see where we end up. And so that's the thing. But it was interesting that his mindset is strong enough that he's got the arrogance to ask for a 2% 10-year balloon seller financing with $100,000 down on a $3 million house. So whatever news channel he's watching is feeding that's an appropriate response to wanting a piece of property. So I say that because I want you guys to realize that this market has shifted. This conversation would not have happened the way it just happened 9 months ago. It would not, which brings me back to expired listings and for sale by owners and the regular real estate market that needs help. We are back square, flat ass in the middle of the regular real estate market right now, guys. And that's phenomenal for us in this business because people need us. FISBOs, expireds, door knocks, just listed, just sold. It's the normal world, life getting in the way. So I'm hoping you guys are excited because you realize you do control your own economy. And now people need us more than they ever have before. They really didn't need us 9 months ago, guys. Put a sign out front and 27 multiple offers fly in, right? That was then. So now I hope you're fired up. This is going to be a really, really, really amazing quarter. And it's just like shooting fish in a barrel right now. Whatever you want, you can get. And they need us. So that's what I'm excited about.
Let me supplement what you just said, because what's the media saying now about April? It's the beginning of what? Somebody fill in the blank.
Spring selling season.
That's what they're talking about now. So if their influence is so strong to make everybody think the market sucked in Q1, what are they saying about the market in Q2? It's going to be a robust selling season. I'm hearing words like customers are acclimated now to the new interest rates. They don't think they're going to fall again. People want to move. That's what I'm hearing. It's pretty cool. Andrea, you raised your hand. You're up.
Good morning. So yes, the classes really helped me to focus in on a couple of things. One would be my farm, getting out there and knocking on doors and presenting CMAs. That has really helped me to push it and get out there. And secondly would be Moxie. So we all know we have a great thing going on with Moxie, right? But it really pushed me to get in there and push out my emails, do the auto emails. I mean, it's like I said, it's brought, I think, oh God, at least 9 to 10 of my buyers back, which 3 of them I have pre-approvals and 3 of them hopefully are, they're in the making. So what I'm saying is it really pushed me to, go after those and create. Creativity is not my best suit. So, pushing that creativity and even the importance, like we know, of video marketing, things like that. And I want to shout out to Mike Puma. I don't know if you're on.
Yeah, this is right.
But I didn't see that I didn't see that Facebook till last evening. And I was like, whoa. So the one where by the second home, I had someone, if you go on my Facebook, kind of debate, go back and forth, and Puma stepped in. Thank you. And I was like, oh no. So I don't know if Mike wants to talk a little bit about that, but I didn't see it till last evening. So we're going to have, people that come at us, but he really had my back. So I want to thank him for that very much. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, listen, and he's an agent. I know him very well, but the reality is it's actually great to see, because that means that there's other agents out there that legitimately have this negative mindset, that he legitimately thought that and stated that buying a house is a depreciating asset. This is an agent that thinks that purchasing real estate is a depreciating asset. That's what's out there. So just take advantage of that. But yes, I had to step in and make sure he knows he's an idiot.
That's the second time I've heard that. That's like a Toyota salesman saying, don't buy a Toyota. Get a Volkswagen, dude.
Yeah. That's all I want to say, and definitely keep the info coming, because definitely getting a lot of action and people commenting on those posts. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Now, yeah, thanks for doing it. Now, it is a depreciating asset, which brings me to another point, because one of the properties we're selling right now, one of the beach projects, is creating a $500,000 depreciation for the buyer. But could that be spun as a positive? Of course it's a positive, right? So there's all kinds of ways you could spin this game. Now,
you can explain that. I lost
It's
you.
a depreciable asset,
depreciable asset. Thank you.
not
Chris.
a depreciating asset. There are times when real estate will slow down and depreciate. There are times, but overall, looking at a 30-year, it's always been appreciating. It is definitely an appreciating asset, but it is
only
depreciable.
428% a year. I mean, for 30 years.
Over the last 30 years, it's a depreciable asset. Maybe he just didn't get his English right. Send him a dictionary, Mike.
No, he definitely, yes. And I actually brought that up, that from a tax perspective, there is some benefits from that perspective. However, that is not what he meant. He legitimately meant values are dropping and that you should never buy a second house ever. For rental income, that would be ludicrous to do something
now,
like
if
that.
you talk
cash flow, that's silly.
It's crazy. Now, if you go talk to people like, you'll hear people like Grant Cardone say that real estate is a liability, not an asset, if it's your primary residence. Because he feels if you buy a primary residence and it's not making you money because you have to pay that note, it's a liability. But if you buy an asset and rent it out and someone else pays it and you're making money, now it's an asset, not a liability. So if there's that school of thought that you'll hear sometimes that might screw with your head a little bit, because that's how Grant Cardone feels. It says, hey, don't buy a primary residence because no one's paying for it. You're paying for it. It's your liability. You have to pay that monthly payment. But there's still the appreciation that you get over time. And that's the other school of thought that people think of. But it is definitely not a depreciating asset. It's a depreciable asset.
Well, Grant's brother is in the process of buying a $14 million house in Bel Air Beach right now. Just so you know. Probably the VRBO it, but. Cool. Anybody else? Jackie, I see your halo on. Nope. Background noise. Check
All
my
right,
thing.
so the task for the
Wait,
week.
oh, I want to hear from Melissa. She's on board. Are you driving or someplace where you can talk? Or not talk? Because Melissa lit it up from previous quarters in quarter one. What did you take away from the mastermind?
Sorry, I actually just switched off my computer screen to my phone. I'm in the process of getting out and about. But quarter one, I'm not gonna lie, the monkey has been on my back for the past 2 weeks. Just struggling to get my mindset in the right place. I had some ups, and then the last few weeks have just been trying to get my head straight.
You broke up there, but that happens.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, it broke up on the last thing you said, but I don't want to pick on you anymore. You were such on fire in the beginning of the quarter, though.
No, I was, and I'm getting back there. I mean, it's difficult. My husband's also in the real estate market. He's an appraiser. And I hear and listen to all the meetings, and it's funny how Chris mentioned Grant Cardone, because he's actually one of the people my husband listens to. And, you know, hearing him talk and then listening to the meetings, it's like totally contradicting. And I'm trying to stay focused on what we're talking about in the meetings, because it's a lot more uplifting than what he's saying. And it's got my mind going crazy, but I'm snapping out of it, and I'm going to be on fire this quarter and make things happen.
I listened to a YouTube video, part of it anyway, before I left yesterday on Charlie Munger. You know who he is?
I'm not familiar, no.
He's Warren Buffett's like second in command. And the headline of the YouTube video was, "Don't buy anything for the next 18 months." That was the headline to the YouTube video. And I've listened to it because I wanted to hear that perspective. And it's not what he said at all. He said certain things like the stock market is really scary right now, but real estate is a good place to be. Right? They didn't say that in the headline video. The headline video says, "Don't buy anything for 18 months. And then it went on to, I went like 7 minutes into a 20-something minute video. But yeah, it's what you feed your mind with, guys. And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. We're not slanting any information. We're just choosing what to put in our minds.
Melissa,
Yes,
Melissa, do you have a pair of headphones?
I do.
Earplugs? Put them on whenever he listens to Grant Cardone.
Well, no,
Or-
it's not that he's listening to it and I'm overhearing it. It's just, I guess it's such a stressful time for him and his part of the business, and just feeding off of his stressors and the stuff that he's talking about. I mean, our offices are right next to each other.
Yep.
His office is in one room and mine's in, so I overhear all this shit, and it's just, oh, I'm sorry, shouldn't have said that, but
It's okay.
I overhear all this, and it's just like it just marinates in my head. And I've even thought about, well, maybe I shouldn't work from home anymore. Maybe I should just, go to
Well, there
Barnes
you
and Nobles
go.
or go to the
There's a
office.
thought.
But
Well-
it's just, I'm not gonna lie, it's totally got my mind into mush the past 2 weeks, and I don't know.
100%. I completely understand. Now there's going to be two things happening all the time. You're either feeding off or feeding into. So you're going to feed off of the bullshit that you hear. You're going to feed in your mindset into him and inflect it in. But first, sometimes you got to say, no, that's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. Why? Because I heard different on another podcast. I heard different on a meeting this morning. I heard different in the emails that we got. I've heard different from all the other agents that are getting those results. So yeah, that's bullshit. Why? Because I've seen people that are creating their own market. So you're either going to feed off of the bullshit that's there, or you're going to feed into your mindset, and maybe you can help create a different attitude and energy around your household. I mean, what if you took that responsibility on for yourself and said, you know what, I'm going to do this because I know that my husband is already stressed enough. I could really help shift his mindset, and maybe we can both thrive a little bit more in the business that we're in. Maybe we can do a little bit more to create our own market for myself and for his business. So, it's just a matter of making that decision and saying, that is bullshit. But if you keep telling yourself, ooh, I'm scared, I'm not sure, I'm uneasy. Did you hear that? I don't know what's going to happen. That's what you'll feel most of the time.
And that's exactly what has happened. So
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It happened. Hey, is there anybody, if you're online, raise your hand or say yes if you've ever had a moment where you let yourself get caught up in all of the bullshit and kind of let yourself right here, guilty. Yeah.
Guilty.
Every single one of us has had moments where we're like, oh God, not again. And we all have those moments, whether it's a day, a week, a month. But that's up to you to decide how long you're going to let yourself feel it. It's okay to feel those things. You can't have sunshine without rain, all of those same perspectives. So just decide, I'm going to allow myself to feel this for the next half an hour. I'll feed into it. And then at the end of that, I'm going to tell myself, well, that's absolute bullshit. Why? Because I know I've seen different, and I know there's other ways to get better results because I see people online doing it every day. So you have two truths that are available to you. You have that truth that you're hearing there, or this truth that you're hearing here. You just have to make that decision to believe in one of them.
Yep. And once again, we're not making this stuff up. I mean, everything I'm showing you is backed up. Hell, every Tuesday I show you how many listings we took and how many sales we made and how many closings we have and how many pendings we have. And we've had pretty decent months for the first quarter. And we usually lose our ass historically, year after year after year. And I've been doing this for 31 years. We lose our ass in quarter one. We haven't lost our ass in quarter one. And we're building a fairly strong quarter two.
Let me tap in a little bit on that one too, because I love, Melissa, that you shared, and thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of people have that same thought. And I'm gonna disagree that it's not bullshit, because everybody lives in their own reality. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, we live in our own world. Grant Cardone's world is to scare the hell out of everybody. So the only safe haven in the world is to put their money with him, right? And that's okay. And his world is right. And he does a very good job for people who place money with him. So that's his world, is casting that. Now, what's important for us is to go back to clarity, right? Because one thing's for certain. The more people we talk to, the more money we make. I don't care what the market is doing, right? That's just the simple fact of this business. Doesn't matter what anybody's doing. Doesn't matter if the stock market's going up. Doesn't matter if the stock market's going down. Doesn't matter if crypto's going up or crypto's going down. Real estate values are going up. Real estate values are going down. Interest rates are going up. Interest rates are going down. Life goes on. Life goes on. And you talk to people during all of those times. Every time that you talk to anybody, one of those cycles is spinning around at some level. Doesn't matter, right? That's where we need to get into the clarity of it does not matter. I know that if I talk to 30 people today, I 100% will go on one listing appointment this week, and I will make $200,000 this year, right? I don't care what's going on in any market, because there's always people getting married, people getting divorced, people changing their lifestyles, people getting rich, people getting poor, people getting sick, people changing around. It's just life, right? So that goes back to turning out, forget about everybody else but your business plan. What is the model? What puts a big ass smile on your face? And that's going to come down to talking to people. And you got to tune out the external sources, because they literally, guys, are completely irrelevant. Doesn't matter what anybody's saying anywhere. All that matters is you get up and say, I've got this. You know how to talk to people. You know who to talk to. You know how to find those people. And you got a hell of a support mechanism around you to keep you going. Right. So that's the hardest thing that we can do, is just stay focused on the lifestyle that we're trying to provide for ourselves and for our families. And we know how to do it. And it doesn't matter what's going on around us. We get it no matter what. Right. That's the strength. That's the takeaway that I want to just pop infuse into everybody, because it does not matter what's going on for anybody. Everybody's opinion is 100% right. Let them have it. Love it. Enjoy it. Beautiful time with your perspective. Right. Don't try to put it on me, because I'm going here.
Yeah.
That's the way it's got to go.
Well, that's a great segue to what I started this meeting off with this morning. We're event planners today, and we're planning an event on April 12th at 5 o'clock, which is a Wednesday, and it's a Zoom meeting. And the idea behind the event we're planning is to educate people that they've got a lot of equity they don't know about. And I don't want to sound like a salesman when I say this, but if I go to Lauren and Lauren doesn't have any spare cash, she's probably not thinking about investing in real estate. But if I go to Lauren and I educate her, so I wrote down a couple of things. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to think about this presentation. And I wrote down empower, educate, and encourage. So if I empower, and Lauren, I'm just picking on you as an example, no meaning to anything. You're just in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. Lauren has no spare cash, let's say, and now I empower her and say, hey, you do have cash, but it's in the form of equity in your house, right? Empower, and then I educate her, and Naomi or somebody from Grow Financial says, hey, I can get you $150,000 line of credit just for safety net. You don't have to use it, but you can have it, and it's going to cost $100. And then Lauren goes, and then we encourage her to do that, because you really should have the line of credit, because what if something goes wrong? Right? Chris said it the other day. A lot of people don't have an extra $1,000. If your car breaks down and it's a $1,500 repair bill, you're screwed. Right? So then we encourage her to at least get the line of credit. Now, once Lauren has a line of credit and has access to 150 grand, what's her mindset now? What happens when you get a new credit card?
You want to spend.
So now she's got 150,000 freaking dollars. Right? And then we go to, ready for this one, Chris? Awareness gives you flexibility. Flexibility gives you options, and option gives you power. And we make them aware that an investment property can, if it's chosen properly and throws off the proper yield, the awareness to the yield gives them the opportunity to look at amortization, which is educating them that every time your tenant makes a payment, your equity goes up. And then we talk about depreciation, how that lowers their tax bill every year, which is more money in their pocket. And then we play down the fact of the appreciation that could possibly come from owning this real estate. But either way, you're going to get depreciation and amortization discounts. And we're not talking about a short-term play, we're talking about a long-term play. So, and then we show the graph that shows real estate in Florida went up 428% since 1991, right? That's a pretty compelling story. It's not story, is a bad word. We need a better word for that. That's a compelling depiction of how real estate has worked historically long term, right? So between empower, educate, and encourage, awareness, flexibility, options, and power. And then the next part is this is for our customers, right? We're going to give them clarity, focus, action, and accountability. And the clarity is, I'm going to become a multimillionaire with real estate assets 20 years from now. That's pretty damn good. And the focus is working with Lauren to find me a property that has the proper yield, right? And then the action is she's going to build a relationship with a loan officer that's going to help her get into that loan. And then the accountability is she's going to have a property manager who's going to manage that house for the next 20 years and give her feedback reports and what's going on and pay all the bills and do all that shit. So you see those three things: empower, educate, encourage, awareness, flexibility, options, and power, and then clarity, focus, action, accountability. Everything we've been talking about for Q1 ties into this presentation. And I called you guys event planners because Jeff and I spoke this morning. You can text people which we've proven that works. You can Facebook ad, or not ad, but post. You can Instagram post. You can do Moxie emails. Who was it? It was Gigi. Put up how many? 900, 1100, 1500. What was the number? Gigi?
It was 2061.
2061 emails she sent, and 561 people opened it in the first day. I'm sure it's higher than that now. Right? So
I am just looking at it, actually. I was pulling it up. It's not not a lot higher, no.
It's okay. 561 is damn good open rate. It's 25%. Find a piece of mail with a 25% open rate, just doesn't happen.
It was a 32.5% open rate.
Even better. All right. So if you're event planners, the challenge for you today is balls to the walls. We got what? 7, 9, 10 days. No, 8, 9 days. Today's the 3rd. We're going to the 12th. 9 days. We really have 7 days. So we got to give 2 days advance notice. So in the next 7 days, let's go and see how we can fill a room with 500 people. And we can empower, educate, and encourage them to become aware, flexible, make aware of their options, and then we help them choose clarity, focus, action, accountability. Right? We can do that in under an hour. We can do it by Zoom. They don't have to turn their cameras on. They can be in their underwear. There's no resistance to that presentation, but they have to become aware of it. So what could you do this week to make them aware of that? Or what will you do this week? Facebook posting works. Instagram posting works. Date and time. Did we send the link to you guys yet?
Yeah.
So you guys have the link.
Yeah, Mike sent it out.
Mike also gave you, I want to say GIFs. What do you call them? Just images?
Yeah, just graphics. There's a couple
Graphics.
different graphics you can use.
So if you want to do a Facebook post and use his graphics or make your own, whatever. Right? But what commitment can we get from you guys this week to do a little more? And let's full court press. Now, when we pull that off and we generate 10, 15, 20 sales maybe or more, what did we create? A market. And that customer, if they play the game right, it's worth 3 sales to you, because we're going to educate them on that theory, which is a pretty good theory. Do you guys like that idea?
Where's the other piece of bacon? Did you eat both of them?
iPhone 7, we can hear you.
Not anymore.
Nope, I just muted you, iPhone 7.
Hey,
By the way, the
Craig,
iPhone 14 is out now, so you're a little behind schedule, but it is $1,100.
Craig, this
Yes.
is Jackie.
Right?
So you know that I'm driven, and if you tell me to do something, I'm going to do it. So I have, but I have made so many phone calls, contacts. First, I put 2 different Facebook posts and Instagram posts out on the meeting. I have about 20 people right now that have said that I've sent the link to, which is pretty good, I think.
Damn good.
And in addition to that, what's happened is that I put something out about how much I love living in Florida, and put a picture of my backyard with the sun setting, and then a picture of a sunset that I took, and put out, I love living in Florida, and he asked me how you can have an investment home down here. And a lot of my Pennsylvania people have come out. But in addition, with all the calls and texts and all the things I've been doing, last week there wasn't 1 minute to myself. I had 6 customers that I worked with last week. 3 buyers, 3 sellers that are very close. We're very close to getting those 3 sellers on the market. 1 person who said, I saw this Crystal Lagoon thing. What do you know about it? And now I'm going to sell her house and sell her a house there. I mean, it was absolutely nuts. I actually even showed somebody on Island Waterway in Apollo a house, 1. She looked at me and said, you don't need it. We can cancel the rest of the appointments. I love this. Let's buy it. And I wrote the offer, full price and conventional loan. I mean, my business is just going crazy. But I think the big thing was I put out something that said, my goal is not to help you buy or sell a house. My goal is to help you achieve your dreams. And I am just getting hammered with customers, and I love every bit of it. So I love this mastermind group, because it just sort of reminds me, and you make your own economy. Look, this is my 19th year with Beggins, and I will tell you that I survived 2008, and I survived it because you encouraged us on what to do, and we did, and we survived it. And so, you make your own economy, and I'm making my own. 5 deals last week, just saying.
Just saying. Hey, you guys do this a lot. Send the link out again. You don't have to do that. When we send a team, it's programmed in Gmail. C2MBE is a Google Suite company, and we pay monthly for all of your accounts. All you got to do is go to sent items or deleted items or trash and search Mike Puma, because Mike sent that link out, and it will pop up. I use it all the time, but sometimes you got to search them where you put it. So if it came in and you deleted it, it's going to be in trash. So just go to trash, search Mike Puma, and it'll pop right up. Or Mike, if you would, send it out again anyway, so everybody has it top of mind. Because if you're like me, here, my goal yesterday before I left for the concert was vacuum the house, vacuum the garage, and blow off the patio deck, and delete 50 emails. And I crossed through all of them yesterday, right? Because emails are just a pain in the ass. I was at 197, which is like freaking out for me. So now I'm down to 123. Now I'm probably up to more than that, but I'll continue on that path. So a lot of times I said, oh shit, where did this go? And I go to search and I find it. So it's just a little tool that will keep you sane if you need it. All right, so let's hear some comments. What are you guys going to do? Are we on the right track? Do you guys want to make a big successful event on April 12th? We'll do the work. Your job is to get the people there.
And by the way, I took Mike's graphics that he made and made them into 2 different e-blasts that are set up for you that call it the event, and I even have a little contact me link so they can click it and you'll actually get their information. If they want to learn more, they can respond to the email. So you got a couple not very path to least resistance ways of being able to get in front of everybody that you already know that is already in your database. So take a look at those and send those out if you need to. Cool.
Well, kudos to you and Mike for giving us the content, because most people don't get things like that. It's done. Of course, you can customize it if you want to, but why? I promise. If anybody's seeing your stuff, they already work for us. If anybody else who sees your stuff doesn't work for us because we don't know them. So that's cool things. Okay. I'm not hearing any conversation. Who's going to make?
I think what we do, Craig, is Mike, if we can send out that graphic again, the one that you did the other day about investing, I think maybe that might be the simple copy and paste items and post, because I have a suspicion that everybody might not have used that as much as they could have.
Hey, Jeff, you changed your photo.
I did.
Well, wonders never cease.
I know, right?
Yeah, because my nephew is now 7. He was 7 months in that.
I had a headshot sitting around on the board. I'm on the board of the Madeira Beach Treasure Island Chamber of Commerce, so I snagged it from their website. So there you go.
Love it. Okay, somebody give me a commitment. Jessica, what will you do this week? Oh,
I will.
No, accountability is part of this, right? You were going to send CMAs out to all of your past clients.
I sent 18 CMAs out on Friday last.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Mhm. Yep. So I have quite a bit more to do, but I'm working hard to get them
Did
finished.
you get some gratitude or any thank yous or anything like that?
I got someone that reached out and asked to unsubscribe me from all emails. So I don't know if she broke up with her boyfriend or they're not together anymore or why I got that message, but yeah.
She was having a bad day.
Yeah. I will post this on Instagram. I'm going to post it with a link where they have to drop their email addresses in order to get the Zoom link for it. So I'll make like a little hype video and collect people's email addresses.
No.
Love it. Is iPhone 9 out of bacon too?
All right, so that's the mission. Is we're going to send the invite out, and the link will resend out again this morning. And your job is to do as many as humanly possible, but as few as, and you get to fill in that blank.
As few as the amount of money you want to make this year or this quarter.
Would anyone like to put in the chat how many you will do per day, what your commitment would be? Anybody want to share?
Between now and the end of
I'll
Each-
commit to emailing every person that I have in my database. I'm not going to say an amount per day, but my entire database will get an email with that link, as well as text messages for everybody in my phone.
now we're talking. Now,
There you go.
that
But
is
let's talk, I like that, and I don't want to sound, this is not a negative statement, but to email everybody in your database is really one email. You said, I don't know how many per day. We don't take this hard, right? If your database is imported into Moxie, you send out a Moxie e-blast and your entire database gets hit in one fell swoop.
I
And you
didn't,
get metrics on it.
I didn't think about that. Okay, but I
So that's
still
what we're-
am guaranteeing everybody in my phone, and I'll go through my social media too.
Cool. And all it is an invite. Do you guys get invited to things? I get email invites to so much shit. Hey, Craig, check my calendar event. We're doing this and we'd love to have you be a part of it. And I delete most of them. and that's probably gonna happen. Right? That's why we wanted to focus on your sphere of influence more because they know you and they trust you and they like you. But doing broadcast emails is not a bad idea either. And if
And
they're in your database, they've got some semblance to know who you are. So that's why you can get a high return rate like Gigi did, 32%. That's awesome.
And post on every social media you have and say, tag a friend who might be interested in hearing this. It's free. It's just for us to impart knowledge on you so you can see what you can do in the future. Right?
Yeah, you better use TikTok while you can. I read this morning Biden's trying to cancel it.
Sure. Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, just invite everybody. And even if they don't come, at least you interjected yourself into their life about real estate. And that's the name of the game, guys. And keep it simple. I love that. Your whole phone should be the goal, by the way. One email to a Moxie email. And then if you don't have all your contacts in Moxie, then that should be one of your first things to do this week is talk to your manager and say, how do I import all my things into Moxie? And then one email out and then post and then a whole bunch of text messages. And you will have a lot of business in Q2. Which would make
it might not be this week or next week. Right? It's just going to put you top of mind for the future. A lot of things happened. A couple more things happened as a result of the first quarter. You guys became top of mind for a lot of people you weren't top of mind for, which is going to lead to future business when they're at a cocktail party or something. They meet somebody, they mention, oh, they're moving to Tampa, and they go, oh, I got a friend Dale's in the real estate business. So that's all going to start happening now.
Yep.
Something else, a lot of you said already, it motivated you to get more into Moxie. And a lot of you made major strides getting your Moxie. Jimmy, we could talk about sales meeting tomorrow, but the engagement in Moxie in the last quarter, I bet we're blowing away most of Century 21s.
Could I say something really quick?
Sure. Yep.
This is really, I think, a good type of message to send multiple times. Like I was going to send it at, like, just change the wording a little, send a reminder. At least one more, and I thought about 2 more times, maybe even as it gets closer. So just a thought that this would be a good message to send more than once.
See, this is when you put your real person hat on. My dad actually has a hat that says real person on it. Put your real person hat on. I'm a real person. And I get an invite to something and I say, I'm in a bad mood or whatever. So I trash it. And then, but I might have been interested in it. A week later or 3 days later, I got another invite to, well, that was interesting. And then the third time, shit, I might want to do that. It's just a Zoom meeting. What the hell? And I'll register for it. And then what I do, and I figured this one out. If I register for a class, they generally send me the recording afterwards, which we should probably do too. Right? So all we want is the registration. We want them to attend, but if they don't attend, we'll record it and we'll send them a recording to the link and they can watch it at their own time. And that would just, because that's our goal, right? Is to encourage and educate them. So let's make that a management team. Let's make that a goal too. We'll give them a recording copy if they register. Because that's what gets me to register for a lot of things with my real person hat on. Right? Because I figure, shit, I can watch it later. Or I want the slides. When I was going through my emails yesterday to delete the 50, a lot of them were copies of presentations with slideshows that I asked for because, that's how I educate you guys. So not a bad practice when you think about a real person. It's a great point, Gigi. You do it again. So
Can we mention that they can get a recording of it?
sure.
Okay.
Jimmy, we can record on that link, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it records.
Okay. And we'll download it to Google Drive and put it up in YouTube, and it'll be real simple for them. But we want them to attend live, but if not, I'm happy to record it.
That's a good idea. Host the meeting on our YouTube channel and send them the link so they can go watch it there.
We'll talk about that at 11.
Yeah.
Cool. So unless
I think we got the mission.
9:24, 6 more minutes, or 6 more minutes of texting. Someone please correct the flyer announcement. It says want to learn about investing using Uru equity. Mr. Puma, that'd be you. Your is YOUR.
Well, you need to come learn what Uru equity is.
I mean, you don't know what Uru equity is?
Yeah, that's what that was all about.
All right, guys, please show up tomorrow too. Sales meeting is a big day. I spent a lot of time in the afternoon getting information to make sure we're primed for where we're heading and what we're doing, and I'm excited. I'm not gonna be able to close out the first quarter yet, because honestly, you guys do me a favor. Any closings you had or listings or sales, they have to be in like today. Because Joy has to close the books tomorrow, and it's a big job to close the books when we stack the closings to the end of the month. So the title companies, if they delay in sending us the checks, so they give you the checks and the HUDs and you don't get them to us. All we need is a scanned image to process the file. We need the checks too, but we'll wait on that. But we want to close the business out in the month that we have it. So any listing sales or closings, please get to the right email address, listing sales or closings at c21be.com by today or tomorrow morning, the latest, so we can get that stuff closed out. Any more questions? How did I raise my hand? I don't know. It's problem solved. Okay, we're gonna call it.
Go do it.
If you have any questions or wonder what to do, let us know. Call me, call Chris, call Jeff, call anybody. Thomas is online. Call Mike. We're here for you.
Thank you guys. Make it a great week.
And Kathleen too. She's not on this morning. Call Kathleen too. Cool.
See you guys.